ABC7 spoke one-on-one with human smuggler who operates in El Paso. We're told helping migrants cross into the U.S. has become more profitable than ever. But the job is not done by the same kind of people. In conjunction with the Puente News Collaborative, which is a bi-national partnership of news organizations in El Paso and Ciudad Juarez, ABC7's contributing reporter Luis Chaparro brings us extra depth and perspective on how this criminal business is changing.
I'm traveling to an undisclosed location in New Mexico to meet with a human smuggler. He says this is a growing business that more and more Americans are taking advantage of.
Americans are doing it. I believe the money's good. The way the pandemic has been, the whole crisis of this world, there's jobs, but no one wants to work them.
He shares some videos with me. Some of them show him driving migrants from the border up north. Another video shows the migrants he helped jumping the border wall with a ladder. This one shows migrants in a U.S. stash house. The smuggler says he sent these videos to the migrants' families. He does that to let them know they crossed safely into the U.S. He told me this is a job he fell into almost accidentally.
Well, the way I first started was I got tricked into it. Thought I was going to be working construction in Tier C. Had a guy that had some people with him. They looked like normal construction workers, you know, even with the vests on and all that. They jumped in my truck. There's only 4 of them at the time, including myself. And he told me, you know, drive out to Tier C, get to the Walmart.
Those people he was driving were migrants dressed up as construction workers.
Went out there, I mean, at this time, checkpoints were closed, and I never assumed or to even think that anything of it, if they're illegal or what. None of them spoke English.
But later, he realized what he was doing.
They just kind of looked at me a little funny and didn't know what to do with it, so I kind of showed them. But now that everything is adding up and I'm putting things together, I kind of found out what I was doing.
Most of the recruitment, as the smuggler told me, happens by word of mouth, by family members, or via social media, according to the latest report from the U.S. Sentencing Commission. I also spoke with a human smuggler in Ciudad Juarez, who was too afraid to go on camera. He told me that the business has changed a lot in the past 5 years. He said the human smuggling operation back then was mostly handled by locals looking to earn an extra few $100s just to let migrants know the best way to get across, or to carry them over the river on their shoulders. I am in Anapra, one of the poorest areas in Ciudad Juarez, right across Sunland Park, New Mexico. This area is known for being one of the most active in the country for human smuggling, an activity that for the most part has always been operated by non-US citizens, mostly Mexicans. But this trend has completely changed over the lapse of 3 years. For years, thousands of people, mostly from Mexico and Central America, have been looking to get across the Rio Bravo into the US, looking for a better life. But in the past, the need for a smuggler was occasional, when the terrain was rough or when they needed a lookout to monitor Border Patrol movements. The business for human smugglers began to boom after Border Patrol increased surveillance and a bigger wall was installed. According to statistics from the U.S. Sentencing Commission, more than 80% of those sentenced for human smuggling were non-U.S. citizens before the pandemic. But the statistics have flipped. Now, some 74% are U.S. citizens.
Yes, we have prosecuted over 700 cases for smuggling, but that's not the number of smuggling cases we have. It's actually much higher. Just for whatever reason, there was other types of consequences.
The smuggler in Ciudad Juarez told me that now it is more profitable to smuggle people into the U.S. than bricks of cocaine.
So when the pandemic hit, a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people were going to end up homeless. And, you know, it's a way I look at it is I'm helping the next person who's escaping violence, death, rapes, murders, drug trafficking, everything, to have a better life. And they're doing the jobs that Americans don't want to do.
Luis Chaparro, ABC7.
And according to analysts, involvement of more U.S. citizens in the human smuggling industry is a sign of how fast the criminal organizations can adapt to tougher border security measures along the U.S.-Mexico border. The human smugglers we talked to make between $1,500 and $3,000 per person they help across. They say in the past they would make between $100 and $500 per person.